Hey guys, Mr. Mackay, I am back again. I'm going to give you a different workout today. Just keep it fresh, keep it interesting. We're going to do a cardio-based workout, but we're going to introduce you to some boxing. So don't worry, we're not going to start hitting people. As many people can do this as you want. We are just going to do what's called shadow boxing. So you are looking towards the screen whilst I teach you some of the techniques. But what do we have to do first? That's right, we're going to warm up first. So, let's go start off with some jogging on the spot. Just to raise that heart rate a little bit. So, light jogging. Always good to make sure we've got some shoes on. You can do it in barefoot if you want, but I prefer to keep my trainers on. So a bit of light jogging. Get those shoulders nice and loose. His feet going, tap tap tap. Good. And stop there. We'll do thumbs up, arms out to the side, small circles going forwards. And getting a bit bigger. And brushing those ears, nice big circles. Loosen off those shoulders. And then give them a shake the shoulders out. And then go the other way, so thumbs pointing down. Small circles going backwards and getting a bit bigger and a bit bigger and brushing those ears. Good job. Right, torso rotation, so having your feet underneath your hips, arms by your side, just going to swing around. Warm up that core, everything around our hips. Keep your torso going. Good, and then we're going to do hug yourself, so I call them chest warm up. So just going to do that. Let your arms go floppy. Hug yourself. Warm up your chest and your shoulders. Because we're going to use those arms for the workout. Right, all you need today, water bottle as always, and if you have one, we're going to use a skipping rope today, is my one. We're going to use a skipping. If you haven't got one, doesn't matter, I will show you what you can do instead. If you can't skip yet, that is fine. I'm going to show you some adaptations with a skipping rope where we can start to learn a bit of skipping too, because there's one thing that boxers use a lot for their fitness is to do a bit of skipping, and it's good for us to practice balancing on one foot. Now we've done a warm up, we can get on with the session. So first thing I'm going to talk to you about before we start is your stance. Because in boxing, there are two different stances. We always have either one foot slightly in front of the other, so we're in this kind of position. We don't want our feet parallel because it's a stronger base, and we can move around a bit more from that position. So most people tend to have their left foot more comfortable with their left foot slightly forwards, which means that then you have your left hand in front for your jab, and then your right hand is at the back for your power shots, like your cross, like this, and you can rotate your body for the power. I tend to have my feet the other way around, so that is called the orthodox stance. So left foot in front, left hand in front, jabbing with the left hand, power shots with the right hand. That's called your orthodox stance, which most people tend to prefer. I have my feet the other way around, which is called the southpaw stance. So I have my right foot in front and I jab with my right hand, and then I do my power shots with my left hand. Doesn't really matter if you're left-handed or right-handed, and during this session you might wish to try both to see which one feels more comfortable. Alright, but the key thing is that you've got one foot in front of the other. We're in this kind of position. Alright, soft knees and our hands up by our protecting our chin. So your chin down, whichever hand's in front, out in front of you, but your fist still in front of your face, and your backhand right in, tucked in, just by that jaw. Because obviously if we were boxing in real life, then we would be blocking shots with these hands, keeping our chin down to protect our face. Okay? So that's how we're going to do. So we're just going to do what we call a 1-2, a jab and a cross for our first movement, and we're going to do things in blocks of 30 seconds. So in that position, nice soft knees, you're going to have your hands up by your eyes, and we're just going to go jab, cross, jab, cross. So the jab is always used to test your distance really, not to do too much damage, but we're just going to throw it out and bring it back. And then we're going to use our cross, which is a bit more of a powerful shot, using your hips. You're going to rotate your hips a little bit more. So I'm just going to go jab, and then when it comes back, cross, when it comes back, and then we might go again, jab, cross. But again, trying to keep soft knees, keeping one foot in front of the other. All right, so shake it off, get ready. We're going to do blocks of 30 seconds, and then I'm going to add in some other bits as we go through, like skipping and then some extra movements. All right, so we're doing like a 12-minute hard workout with some boxing technique in between. All right, let's get ready to go. All right, so we're getting ready to start our workout in that stance. So one hand in front of the other, one foot in front of the other. So I've got my right foot in front, right hand in front. All right, cool, we're gonna go. 1, 2. That's then a bit of movement. 1, 2. So 1 is a jab, 2 is a cross. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Keep going, move around a bit. 1, 2. 1, 2. Move. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Good job, and have a little breather. So 30-second rest. So in that movement we're going 1, 2. So as soon as you bring that first hand back, you're protecting your chin, then the second one back, protect your chin. Notice how I'm using my hips to move, and we put a bit of movement in between. Right, for this next set of 30 seconds, we're going to skip. I'm going to do it on a slight angle so you can see. I'm going to skip. If you can't skip yet, you can hold both the rope in one hand and skip like this. Right, off we go. Or you can just jump on the spot. Oh, good start. Then jumping on the spot, a nice loose ankles, a little bit of a bounce. You can do this without a rope. You don't have to do it with a rope. Nice and loose. Get those calves going. Oh, that'd be rubbish. Cool, right, another 30-second breather. So we're going back to our jab cross, but this time we're going to put in what's called a slip. So where you're trying a defensive move, where you're trying to move out of the way of a shot. So we're going to go 1, 2, and then slip. I'll move our feet around a little bit. 1, 2, slip. 1, 2, slip. That's what we're doing. Right, get ready. I might speed up a little bit. Get those feet set. Right, 1, 2, slip. 1, 2, slip. 1, 2, slip. 1, 2, slip. You can move whichever way you want. 1, 2, slip. 1, 2, slip. 1, 2, slip. 1, 2, slip. So soft knees, bounce around a little bit. 1, 2, slip. 1, 2, slip. 1, 2, slip. Speed up a little bit. 1, 2, slip. 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 Good job, good job. So that slip, defensive, where we're avoiding contact and just working our core muscles as we're moving around. Well, we're going to move on to a bit of a jog now in between. So again, a bit of fitness, and then we'll add in another movement to our boxing. So moving on to a bit of just jogging on the spot, keeping that heart rate up. So we're going to go boxing technique and then cardio. We're going to interweave it. Right, get ready. Jogging on the spot. Right, okay. So nice and light. Keep those shoulders pumping. Whole body movement. Bit of a jog. Keep that heart rate up. And it's just easy. Switch your brain off and think about our boxing. So soft knees, light on your feet. Keeping those hands up. Because why do we do that now? We're practicing. Keep those hands up, protecting that chin. Yeah. Right, cool, and have a breath, we have a breather. So we're going to keep that movement, we're going to go 1, 2, slip, and then as we slip, we're going to come up with an uppercut. So your knuckles facing away from you, or your fingers facing towards you, as you come up uppercut. We're going to start again, we're going to go jab, cross, slip, uppercut. Really use those core muscles, twist in and go right up. You feel your tummy muscles working. So we're going 1, 2, slip, uppercut. Right, let's go. 1, 2, slip, uppercut. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep those hands up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Always keep those hands up. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. So you should really feel those core muscles working as you twist. Our next 30 seconds, we're just going to go back to our jab cross. We're going to speed it up. It's going to go 1, 2, move, 1, 2, move. So keeping that speed up. Keeping those hands by our face. Thinking about moving. When we move, we're always going to move the first foot in the same direction. So if I wanted to go that way, move this foot first. If we want to go this way, I move this foot first. If we want to go that way, move the front foot first. So let's have a little bit of movement. 1, 2. 1, 2. Let's speed it up again. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. And then let's go 3. Let's go for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Shake it off. 30-second rest. Right, now we're going to look at a bit more movement. So like I said, we're going to go do that combination. 1, 2, slip, uppercut, and then we're going to move around using that movement. So remember, whichever direction you wish to go, you're moving that foot first. If I want to go this way, I'm moving that foot first. When I go towards you, I'm moving my front foot first. So you always want one foot on the ground. So we're going jab, cross, slip, uppercut, movement. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, movement. 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 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I forgot. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good job. We'll take it back down again. We're going back to skip. So again, if you are just learning to skip, if you use both the handles in one hand, and then as the rope comes over and it hits the ground, you should hear it hit the ground, that's when you want your feet off the floor. So you're going to go, that's one way to start learning how to practice. Otherwise, you can just bounce. If you haven't got a rope, you can just bounce, bounce, bounce. Oh, got my rope tangled up. Right, go, 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 start skipping. Ah, I'm tangled. Ah, my rope's all tangled. Ah, bin the rope off. I'm just going to bounce. So if you haven't got a rope, you can just do it bouncing. Bounce on your feet, light on your feet. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Keep that heart rate up. Good, good, good. Right, so we're now going to put a hook in. So a hook, we're coming round this position. So we're going to do our 4 movement combo, but we'll take out the uppercut. So we're going to go 1, 2, slip, and then as we come back up to here, we're going to go hook. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, keep those hands up. Bit of head movement. Right, 1, 2, 3, and then 4. There. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep those hands up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good job, good job. Right, shake it out, shake it out. We're just going to go back to jab and cross now. So we might build it up to more sections of jabbing and crossing. So 4s and 6s maybe even. Right, shake it out, have a breather. A drink of water if you haven't had already. Right, let's get going. So jabbing and crossing, one foot in front. Let's go. 1, 2. And go forward. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, go 6s now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good job, good job. We're getting there. Nearly done. Have a little breather. So we're going to look at some head movement now. So head movement, another way that we can avoid contact. So a slip is just a quick sort of duck out of the way. Head movement, we can go anywhere we want. So we're looking at head movement. So we're going to go jab. We're going to do our combination for however many jabs and punches, and then we're going to do a bit of movement before we go back again. Right, so let's go forward. We're going 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a bit of head movement. Move your feet a bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So get that head movement, but keep those hands up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep those hands up, protecting your face. 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep those hands up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Head movement. Good job, good job. Right, we'll finish off with the combination. We're going to link those things together. So we're going to go jab, cross, slip, uppercut, and then we'll go jab, cross, hook. That's a lot to remember. We'll do it slow together. So jab, cross, slip, uppercut, jab, cross, hook. We'll do it slow together the first time. Right, jab, cross, slip, uppercut, jab, hook, jab, cross, slip, uppercut, jab, hook. Let's speed it up. Jab, cross, slip, uppercut, jab, hook, jab, cross, slip, uppercut, jab, hook, jab, cross, slip, uppercut, jab, hook, jab, cross, slip, uppercut, jab, hook. One more time, let's go one more time. Jab, cross, slip, uppercut, wait. Jab, cross, slip, uppercut, jab, hook. Good job, good job. Right, take a breather. Take a breather, take a breather. We've done it there. So let's have a quick recap. We went through those movements. So in our boxing stance, we have 1 foot in front, our hands by our side. First hand out in front. Oh, there we go. That's our recovery finished. Right, we're done. Hand up, in your front hand is your jabbing hand, just testing your distance. And then all your power shots come from your hand at the back. So today we've learned our jab, which is our front hand. Our cross, which is just a straight punch with our back hands. Notice how I'm rotating, I'm keeping my feet on the floor. I should always keep my feet on the floor when I put a shot in or throwing a punch. But I'm rotating my body. We've learned the defensive movement of a slip, where we're slipping out the way of a punch. We've learned some head movement, where we're trying to keep out the way. We're going to keep moving because it's more difficult for someone to hit a moving target. We can also work our core muscles when we do that. We have learned an uppercut, so as we rise with our hand facing towards us, where we're going up. And we've learned a hook coming around there, and also keeping our hands by our face. Lots of things to think about. Doesn't mean we can go and start hitting people. This is a good way to get fit. Boxing's a really, really good exercise to get fit. You can do this as many times as you want. You can come up with your own combinations now. It's called shadow boxing. So you can do it in front of the mirror and you can practice your movements. So you can get your hands up by your chin and you can practice your movements. Maybe even write some combinations down and see what you can come up with. How many movements can you put in a row, or ones that you can come up with and still remember it? 10, 12, I don't know. Yeah, so always remember the key thing is that stance, 1 foot in front of the other, hands by the side of your face, one hand just in front for your jabbing and testing your distance. That's to see how far away you are from your opponent, and then your power shots from your right hand. So my challenge to you is I want you to come up with your own combinations, practicing on your own, not hitting anybody else, just in front of the mirror. Can you do that? Or can you put a timer on and see if you can do 30-second bursts like we did, just doing your 1-2s, 1-2s, yeah? I'd love to hear from you. Share it with anybody, like, comments about how you found it, and let me know how you get on with your own combinations. And I'll speak to you next week. Goodbye.